Hi, welcome. My name is Shelby Jr. Now we kick off our bulletin with the electoral body news, where the four embattled independent electoral and boundaries commissioners will now have to face a tribunal over their conduct in the August 9th elections. And as reader Cherera reports, the Justice Committee of the National Assembly says all four petitions by Republican Liberty Party, Reverend David Nthumbi, Geoffrey Lagat and Steve Owor had enough grounds to warrant the information of a tribunal.
How do you want to remove commissioners on account of Chebukati?
The National Assembly Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, Jlac, on Thursday, Parliament recommended the suspension of the four dissenting Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (REBC) commissioners.
I'm here on behalf of Cherera.
The report, compiled by Jlac under its chairperson George Murugara, requested President William Ruto to form a tribunal to investigate the REBC vice chairperson Cherera, Irene Masit, Francis Wanderi and Justus Nyagaya over their alleged misconduct in the last general election.
Before he addresses the committee, we need to know whether we are properly constituted, because what they cited is that we lack jurisdiction.
I'm not going to raise any issue of jurisdiction further. Having been raised and decision having been given.
The resolve was a culmination of sessions held for the past week, in which the aforementioned commissioners were summoned to appear before the committee in defense of the accusation level against them. Cherera and the three commissioners were accused of gross misconduct and incompetence in managing the operations of the electoral body. However, the commissioners failed to appear before the Jlac committee, which prompted the members to proceed with the process of compiling the report without their input. According to their lawyers, Jlac committee lacked the jurisdiction to prosecute the petitions against them. In a statement presented before the committee, Commissioner Irene Masit's lawyer hinted at pursuing redress in court over the petitions.
The end of this process, as is envisaged in the standing orders and the Constitution, may very well reach the desk of this person who was called this official's rogue. That's why I'm bringing that. So we need further and better particulars on this issue of rogue.
The decision to snub the committee's sessions followed an earlier appeal by former Prime Minister and Azimio la Umoja Chief Raila Odinga, urging the four commissioners to boycott the summons. Consequently, members of the Jlac affiliated with the Azimio coalition staged a walkout from the committee sessions, arguing that the committee was hell-bent to see the removal of the dissenting four without according them a fair hearing.
Protocol officer, the respondent is not here.
Would be constrained to say that we would not be able to proceed henceforth before the committee.
And that guidance is what we needed before we can proceed. And the guidance has just been given, so it is not possible to proceed.
And our right cannot be negated by the laziness, the ineptness and the disgust at which the four have demonstrated.
Upon approval by members of the National Assembly in the plenary, the President will gazette their suspension and subsequently form a tribunal to investigate into their conduct.
The hearing would have proceeded if Council and Ms. Cherera were here, but now that they are not here, we take it that they do not wish to make any representations. Believe you me, what we shall present to Parliament will be very well considered, and we promise we are going to do it without fear or favor, without intimidation, without coercion, without undue influence or any other negative influence that may come along.
Be able to finish what they are doing within their corporation and bring us views which are properly articulated by that organization. It would be fair that way.
Through you, Chair, I wanted to know from this representative of the Youth Council, since he represents a body corporate, whether he has any formal request in the manner that body corporate makes its communication, whether he has any even formal request that he has already orally made for such extension of time. And if he hasn't, then perhaps, Chair, it would be prudent to let him go and formalize whatever request that he's making before us orally in the manner that that organization makes its formal communication.
The resolve of the Jlac came amid threats by the opposition faction to hold national-wide demonstrations to oppose the move to impeach Cherera and her colleague commissioners.
These people lost elections badly.
Raila, while announcing the postponement of the scheduled consultation rallies, reiterated the ruling side was determined to settle political scores against Juliana Cherera for the role they played in the August election. Raila also alluded to a plan aimed at influencing the outcome of the 2027 general election.
An independent electoral commission is the referee. It cannot be appointed by a player. Cannot accept that on top of that they will add insult to injury by sending away these other commissioners and then imposing on Kenyans a user-friendly commission to them. This is not acceptable. And therefore we have said we are going to consult widely with the people of Kenya. We will not allow the Kenya Kwisha regime to impose a commission on the people of Kenya. That is not acceptable.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television, I'm Rida Chebet Kering.